Today, we are going to talk scopes. Yep, we're going to talk scopes. Hang on, we'll be right back. Okay, like I said in the intro, today we are going to be talking about scopes today. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scopes. Yeah, I didn't realize that I had that many scopes. And I've gotten a couple of comments at people asking me, what scopes am I using in a couple of videos. And they're older videos, okay? So I got to be honest with you. I don't know. I really don't know. I've used so many different scopes, and yeah, I should stick with just one, but I didn't. I got scope crazy. It's just like buying a rifle. You buy scopes, and you buy more scopes. It just doesn't seem to end. Yeah, so how about we get started with the first one here? This first one here is the 10-point scope that I have. So let's hop on another screen and talk about it over there. Okay, so this scope right here, hold on a second, I think so. It doesn't show the speed ring on it, but I have the speed ring. But anyways, this is the Pro View 400 scope. It is a nice scope, but it's not the one that I use or have. We'll get back to that here in just a second. But that is the ranges right there inside. Okay, to me that's just too cluttered. Just too cluttered for me. Okay, but the specs, the tube is a 32 millimeter, 8.5 inches long, 3-inch eye relief, weighs 14 ounces. One click is a half MOA, magnification times 3, and speed up to 400 feet per second. Okay, let's see if I can get this to work correctly. Okay, so this scope is the one I just showed you that I think I have. Make sure. Yes, this is the scope that I have here, and you can see it's the same clutter on here. It is illuminated scope. I think like most scopes today, they're all illuminated. The specs is a 30 millimeter tube, 9.1 inches, eye relief 3 inches, 1 pound. Variable adjustable elevation turret, 1 click's a half MOA, 2 times 7 for the scope. Designs for speeds of 380 to 505. It's got the flip up caps, red and green illustrations, and the 32 millimeter objective diameter, and parallax is 50 yards. And that is this scope right here. I played around with it quite a bit, and it is a good scope and fantastic view, fantastic glass in it. I really like this scope. Okay, let's hop back over here. All right, and the other scope that I have here, and I have it on my Wicked Ridge. All right, come on. Okay, this is another nice scope. That is the reticles on it. 20, 30, 40, 50, and that would probably be 60 right down here. A simple Just a simple scope. That's all that is. 10 point. So again, I like that scope. I'll get it on my Wicked Ridge. Eventually, we're going to see it. I will be out shooting it as soon as the weather warms up. Yeah, we got some rain last night. It's cold, miserable. So we will do that later. Okay, so another scope I have here is the Killer Instinct scope. It's got the flip up stuff on it. Again, this is a nice scope, but I'm going to show you what I don't like about this scope. Okay, again, it's illuminated, speed rated up to 450. Let's hop on over here. So here it is. It's just, come on, do your thing here. There we go. So there it is, right there with the flip-up caps, turrets, the CR. I forget the name of the battery goes right in there. Caps flipped up. Now, this is what I don't like about this scope. Is right here. Okay. Did I just make it bigger? I hope I did. But you can see that the 20, 30, 40, all that kind of good stuff here. But this is what I don't like. This, to me, there's just way too much clutter in here. But again, I'm not sure what yardage this is at, but it's showing it here. But again, the way to set this scope up, I just did not like whatsoever. Let's see. There's some more stuff here on it. Okay. Not much there. But it's a 1.5 by 5 by 32 IRE. Okay. Good up between 270 and 450 yards. I mean, feet per second. Okay. So, like I said, me personally, I didn't like the reticles on this. I worked with it and worked with it. I couldn't get them figured out, personally. Okay? All right. So, the next one we're going to talk about, and if you look at, a lot of crossbow companies are making their own scopes. Some good scopes, some bad scopes. But whatever, a lot of them are doing it. Okay? Because if you use a rifle scope, which you can, but the thing you got to remember is a crossbow, when it shoots, it throws it forward. A rifle, backwards. Okay, so when I first started doing crossbows, I used a rifle scope. I had no issues with it, but it's used the right scope for the right tool. Okay? So, with that said, the center point scope. Okay? That's a 4 by 32. And yeah, it's got the multi-lines in this one. Clear. Very clear. Clear glass on it. So let's hop over to the other screen. There we go. Okay. So this is just a cheap, inexpensive crossbow scope. Now for a first timer, this would be a good scope. Let's see. Let's look at some of the. Gotta give it 4 stars. Don't know. You haven't pulled the trigger yet. Very unstable and very understable. Whatever. Good service. Okay. So I mean, it's a decent scope. First time scope, and it's a very decent one. Okay. So there's really nothing wrong with the scope. Really, to be honest with you. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about, and we'll hop on over the screen here, because this one is on my RS470 right now. I just got it back a little while ago. I haven't had a chance to get out and see. When I say got it back, is I had to send it in and get some work done on it. But if it should be a very good scope. The price has gone up quite a bit. The weight is 30.8 ounces. CR2123 battery. It's supposed to be 3,000 hours, 3,000 minutes or hours, I'm not sure. Plus, up to 500 yards. Laser adhered to 200 yards. If you want, you can pause the video here if you want to take a look at all the specs and stuff on it. But the one nice thing about the Boris Oracle X scope, it's got the remote, which I can't find right now. I know I got it around this mess somewhere. And so you can also arrange it just by hitting the button right. Let me show you over here. Hitting the button right here, that will also range for you. But it's easier just to have the remote. But when I worked with it in the past, I really like the scope. Okay, and that's going to be probably my main scope. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about, it comes with a nice performing cover or whatever you call it, is the ATN Excite 4K Pro. This is the 5x20. But the one thing I really like about this scope, okay, is I can record sound and video. Easy to operate. The menu is simple. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to. You also have a remote that you can get, and also a rangefinder that you can put on here, which I have. Okay, so let's hop on over here. And the one reason I can't use this scope is the drop. Okay, once I get out to like 30 yards plus, it drops, and I can't adjust it anymore. Otherwise, I love the scope. I really do. I'm going to be putting it on my rifles. I can put up to a bunch of 5 rifles. So I will be doing that. And I'll bring you guys on along so you can see what's going on with that. So to show you that is a good scope. So let's hop on over to the next screen here. Okay, the ATN. Okay. It's this. Let's see. Go to, I think it's rifle scopes. I thought I had this set up. Okay, they got the new Excite Series 5 out. But we're going to go to the 4K. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stuff about that 5, and it's Excite 5 Pro. No, that's not it. Okay. Okay. Where? Right here, Excite 5 4K Pro 5x20. Okay. So it's got a lot of features on it that are fantastic. The Bluetooth, there's also a day-night scope. The battery does last quite a while. You can also take an external battery and plug it in and keep going. That's another nice thing about it. But like I said, it's got a lot of stuff. The video recorder. You've seen some of the video. If you haven't, I couldn't tell you what to look for that, honestly. But the buttons are very, very simple. The menus are very, very simple. It's got multiple different types of mounting brackets. And it just takes a little bit to get used to, but it is a very, very, very good scope. Okay. The only drawback to it, it is heavy. Okay, it is a heavy scope. But like I said, I'd use it. I would use it over the Boris Oracle X scope because I have the recording feature in it, and I love that recording feature. And the recording feature is very, very clear, very clear. What they show on here. Let me see if they got a video of it. Maybe not. No, they don't. Okay. But it's got a lot of neat stuff that I really, really love about the scope. Okay. So the next scope we're going to go to is the Vortex Crossfire 2 Crossbow 2 by 7 by 32. This scope right here. It is a little expensive. When I bought it, it was a lot cheaper. But the thing about this scope, it's a good scope too. The easiest scope I've ever, I guess you could say, that to sight in. Okay. It is a speed rated scope. From, let's see, it goes from 275 to 450. So I really can't use this on my RS 470. Technically, I could because the speeds when I'm reading heavy arrows do drop down a lot. It's got good glass in it. I lost the flip up on this one, but I have the flip up on that one. Okay, so let's hop on over to the other screen. Okay, so that's the scope there. It does come with a little cover, which is really, really neat, the flip up caps. Another view of it. Another view. Let's see here. Okay. Now, the thing that's really interesting on this, when you sight this in, you notice the 20-yard reticle is up here. And this is the 40-yard reticle. When you sight it in at 20, you use the 40-yard reticle. Okay? Excuse me. Use the 40-yard reticle. Take your shot, set it in. Move it out to 40 yards. And this reticle should be, in theory, pretty much dead on. You may have to make a couple of very slight adjustments. Okay? But after that, it goes, let's see, 20, 40, no, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. So that all should be set up right there on the 40-yard reticle. And that is sweet. And when you do, and then you set it up here, and then you know what? I made a boo-boo. You set it up at the 40, move it back to 40, and then from here you set your speed ring. If I'm correct. I haven't used it in a while or set it up. I'd have to look it up, but it's one of the, I think this is the one when you use your speed ring to set it up. But it's really, really quick and easy. Okay, so the last one I'm going to talk about, I got this scope on my Carbon Express Pile Driver 390. This scope. There's absolutely zero writings on this scope. I don't know what the power is. I don't know nothing. Okay? Other than it's got, the decent glass in it. It's 20, 40, 60, or no, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 yards in here. I wouldn't use this scope for simple reasons of I know nothing about it. Okay. If you don't have writings on here, on your scope, I wouldn't use it. Okay. For a beginner scope for a first time crossbow, yeah, go ahead. Work on practicing. You're setting your scopes up. That's all you're doing with this. If you're not familiar with scopes, this would be an okay scope to practice with and setting up your crossbow. But I wouldn't hold it reliable over a period of time. Okay? I wouldn't. Even though it's a decent scope, but with no name brand on it, no nothing, I wouldn't use it for a hunt. Because you can set it up, but are those reticles dead on? You're taking a 50-50 chance. Probably people have used it, been okay with it, but I wouldn't be. I would definitely suggest that you get, before a hunt, get yourself a good, decent, and you don't have to go the expensive route, scope. And if it was me, okay, if it was me, I'd either go with a 10-point scope as my first scope to put on a crossbow, or get the Vortex crossbow kit and do that. I know, pricey, and we all have to, looking at prices, and I get it, okay, but don't use a cheap crossbow scope for a hunt. I would not recommend that whatsoever. I would upgrade my scope. Practice, okay, but for a hunt, I'd go with the multi-line from 10-point, or the 400, or with the Vortex scope. One of those three. That is my recommendation. But again, you don't have to take my recommendations. You can go do whatever you want. That's totally up to you. But that's what I would do. Okay. So I hope you guys got a little bit out of this. I've had people ask me what type of scopes are you using? And I use, right now, my primary scope is going to be the Boris Oracle X on my RS 470. On my 10-point, I'm sorry, on my Rickett Ridge, right now I got the multi-line on there for that. I may put the Vortex on there, just because I can. But I'm gonna do the multi-line first, just for fun, and because I'm only gonna be setting it out to 40 yards. That's it. I'm not gonna go past 40 yards with it, but most of my shots with that one will be closer than that. But okay, that's what I got for you guys now. Again, I want to thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. But not. Oh, let me back up 1 second. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Hit that subscribe button down below. Take your minute. Take a second here. Hit that and hit that all notification bell. I really appreciate it. It's free. Just hit them and enjoy it. And another thing too. If you notice up here somewhere, you'll see some cards. If you haven't seen those videos, please click on one of those, and because I usually put up my last 5 up here. So yeah, hit those, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment, hit me and share these with your videos with your family, friends, and your worst enemy. And again, thank you for watching. And always remember, these episodes are dedicated to my son. And thank you for watching Utah Crossbow Hunter.